welcome back to another video, but we are going to react to some more real fakes. Now, a lot of you might not know this essentially, but it is actually called Mothman, and that's why we're here to react to Mothman. Real fake. See if the sound monitor is on. No, it is not. So I think we're supposed to this to 28, otherwise it's going to be loud. Ish.
This is an ad for project management tool called Mcdonalds. This is what it looks like.
Advertisement! Advertisement don't work! Oh, did not expect.
Hey, is it possible the famous Mothman of West Virginia could be a mysterious giant eagle? Or is it still just a big, mysterious unknown? I'm back on the case, looking for answers to one of America's most mysterious monsters. So don't.
Whoops, it's the wrong one. I'm so
Hey
sorry,
guys, Bill here.
folks.
You know, not too long ago, I made a trip out to Point Pleasant, West Virginia, to make a video about one of them.
Sorry guys, I am so sorry, but it was the wrong one. If you were going to enjoy this episode, I am so sorry. But this is the real
Hey
one.
guys, Bill here. You know, there's a lot of different types of animals in this world. We have friendly types, and then there's the not so friendly types. But then there's the ones we don't know really what they are. Like this one they call the Mothman. According to eyewitnesses, the Mothman has giant wings and big red eyes. It stands taller than a man, but flies faster than any bird we know. There have been dozens of news reports and documentaries about the Mothman, even a major motion picture. But is the Mothman real, or is it fake? That's what I'm
Oh,
This is Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It's a quiet town that sits on the Ohio River. But right in the center of town is a large sculpture of what locals call the Big Bird, or Mothman.
Not so
It is
friendly
here
now.
because Point Pleasant is where the legend of Mothman really got its start. On the night of November 15th, 1966, two young couples were out in an area called the TNT by locals. The TNT is an old World War II munitions storage area that was converted to a wildlife sanctuary after the war, and a favorite haunt for local kids to park and party. On this night, however, the four young people in the car were on their way out of the woods when suddenly they came across something very unusual standing in the middle of the road. According to the kids, it
Okay, I am not going to TNT anymore.
had a 10-foot wingspan and red glowing eyes the size of baseballs. This is the place right here where the kids said they were standing. They said the creature took off in this direction where there was a large building. They didn't chase after it. Instead, they pointed their car towards town and hit the gas pedal. On the main highway back to town, the creature appeared again, flying above the car as it was chasing them. They tried to outrun it, but despite hitting speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour, the creature stayed right with them. Only when they came to a lit area of town did the creature turn off and disappear. The kids told the police what they had seen, but the story wasn't taken seriously until reports of other sightings.
I'm really sorry, but warning, if you're like 4, you might not want to watch this video. If you love my channel and you're young, you might want to watch this because it could be a bit spooky. So let's just get back to it. That was just a quick warning.
In all, over 100 reports from eyewitnesses were filed, and this caught the attention of the news media. Well, what did you see?
No, I was looking at it in the sky, and then all of a sudden, just doing smack right into the trees,
So he stopped the car and the thing came over top of the car. Now, I have to point out that nobody was ever actually harmed by the Mothman, but many people believe that's because the Mothman was not so much a monster as it was a prophet of doom.
John, you're not going to believe this. The whole bridge just collapsed. Yeah, the bridge has collapsed.
About a week after someone reported seeing Mothman on Point Pleasant's main bridge, the whole structure collapsed into the Ohio River, killing 46 people. That's why so many people believe that the Mothman is more like the Grim Reaper, a creature that is there to warn you that bad things are about to happen. Now, the odd thing about this, and something that gives credence to this point of view of Mothman, is the fact that once the bridge collapsed, so did the sightings of Mothman. And that gets me back to my original question. Is it a real creature, or isn't it?
Yeah, I believe that there was something going on up there in the TNT area, that people were actually seeing something. Too many people seeing it, too many people describing the same thing.
Jeff Wamsley, who wrote a book about Mothman, seems to think there's something to this story. But author and professor of anthropology Jeffrey McKee is very skeptical.
But the chances of something like this being real are incredibly slim. We've had biologists scouring the earth for centuries, and no one has seen something like this Mothman.
He's got a good point there. I mean, is there some hard evidence?
To my knowledge, there has never been anything other than eyewitness descriptions and drawings, sketches, as to a good description of this thing.
But then
they make a point, but is it real or not? That's...
Again, how would you explain 100 people seeing this thing and it not being true?
Yeah, this is what I'm
Well,
trying to
you
say.
have more than 100 people who claim to have seen Bigfoot, and no one's ever found any definitive evidence. No one's ever found any real footprints. No one's
Exactly, like an alien, like a mysterious alien. Like, let's come up with a name. Haunted Jeff. I'm not really good at making haunted names, so just don't mind me. Like Haunted Jeff. If oh my god, I still can't get over it. If he was up in space. And nobody's ever found any evidence, like Bigfoot or even Mothman. It's like one of these guys.
found any DNA. No one's found anything.
Okay, I'm sorry. I cannot get over Haunted Jeff.
Have evolved for millions of years to be able to try and take the world as we see it and make sense of it. And sometimes the way we make sense of it in the long run doesn't make sense.
Now, there is one reasonable explanation I did come across in my research, and that is there's a possibility that what these people were really seeing were actual birds. You see, the area around Point Pleasant is filled with all sorts of large winged birds, like sandhill cranes, barred owls, even turkey vultures.
They look pretty small when they're up in the sky, but when they swoop down, you see they have this 6-foot wingspan, and they look really, really big all of a sudden.
That's what Mothman is.
Another interpretation of Mothman that I heard about came from a man named John Keel. He wrote a book called The Mothman Prophecies that was turned into a major motion picture starring Richard Gere.
His take on the whole thing was this was related to the UFO activity, that this Mothman creature somehow, the Men in Black and the UFOs were all related. He felt that the TNT area was a window to paranormal activity.
An alien from outer space. Well, that would be really cool. But first of all, we'd have to have evidence that it exists.
Yes.
And secondly, why would an alien from outer space look like anything we have here on Earth? An alien from outer space would be totally different from what we have here on Earth, because they would have had a completely different evolutionary trajectory. They might not even be carbon-based, for that matter. For an alien to look like an Earth creature would be highly unlikely.
Now, I know I'm just touching on the tip of the iceberg of this story, and I want to apologize to the experts who know so much more than I do. But based on what little I do know, this creature known as the Mothman is and will remain...
Wait, I forgot to... Oh, it's no voting. Okay, that's a bit strange.
An open book, unfortunately. As in, unsolved mystery. I'm sorry, but I don't feel like I have enough evidence to prove it one way or another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it up to you guys. What do you think? Do you think Mothman is real? Or maybe it's just a figment of people's paranoid imagination?
Or a big fat
Maybe it's a UFO. Or maybe it's just a bird that ate too much McDonald's. Let me know what you think in the comment section below for a chance to win a free t-shirt. That's right, that's what I just said. A free t-shirt. For the first 5 comments who mention the words Mothman and t-shirt in their opinion will get to pick the t-shirt of their choice off the Mothman Museum website in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. So get typing, be a winner, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, don't forget, you have to be 18 years or older to win a t-shirt. And you have to live in a place where we can actually send it to you. In other words, if you live at the top of the Himalayas and we can't send it to you because there is no mailman, then we won't be able to fulfill our end of agreement. Sorry about that.
So they only happen on Fridays, so ooh, Kenny's ghost dog. What is this? Wait, I've watched this one before, and it will give nightmares to some people. So yeah, I'm not putting this one on because I don't want to give another warning because I want other people to watch my YouTube channel, even if you're like 6 years old and you love my channel. Yeah, you want to let out another warning because that one is super scary. I've seen that one before. It's way too scary for you. Okay? So, I'll see you guys later. Peace, amigos!